I hear most have joined. Okay, we can start. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good morning. My name is Ashok Veda. I'll be the host for this session. Before I jump into a very quick introduction. Okay. That's my LinkedIn profile. I have been in the industry for about 20 years, almost 15 years into analytics. I majorly worked in Netherlands, Europe, clients, as well as I started my first company in 2009. It was about 14 years ago. I've been an entrepreneur. Started many ventures in analytics. Last 7 years, I've been predominantly into artificial intelligence research, also deliver AI projects. I'm currently working as founder and CEO for Rubix. All right, you can find the information from my LinkedIn. Let's get to today's bootcamp topic, data analytics career switch. So data analytics is not a new field. It's been there for at least a decade and a half, and it's a well-established field. But recently, there is a huge traction towards data analytics along with data science. So in this webinar, we will explore what is data analytics and how do we do a career switch. Of course, anyone from beginner to experienced professionals can switch to data analytics. What are the things you really need to pursue a career in data analytics is what is going to be focused. I have enough time at the end of the session for question and answers. So I request you to put the questions in the Q&A section if you're joining from Zoom. If you are from other channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, please write it down in the comments. One of the Datamites team member will copy and put it back over here. I will take it from them. Okay. All right. So the quick agenda is we'll talk about what is data analytics and why should you switch and skills required for the career transition. We'll also look into differences between data analytics and data science, because many are actually a bit confused about whether they should pursue a career in data analytics or in data science. Okay. We also look into steps to switch to data science, data analytics career. What are the different opportunities in the market, some career needs. Okay. So I have a privilege of watching this transition, or at least the change of the way we work in data analytics from using technologies like machine learning and also a lot of data science related business cases, implementation. I've been in this field for about 15 years now, so I've seen the transition. So I'm in the right position to comment on how and what data analytics is and how to actually transition. What are the skills needed? Okay. So if you really look at what is data analytics, it is all about simply, if you want to simply say it in one sentence, it's about insights from the. The business is becoming very competitive and any decision you are taking has to be data-driven decision. So this is going to be an input for your data-driven decision. Not just the top executives of the company, like your CEO and CXO level um, executives, but all the people in the organization, all the decision makers from directors, senior managers, any manager, anyone who is making decisions based for the companies, either operation or project, they're expected to take a decision driven by data. Simple examples, for example, the last 1 year, the success of startups, especially in certain segments, okay, startup success as really not good. It's about 40% in India, as per the NASSCOM's own data. Okay, so out of 10 startups, 4 actually succeeded, and 6 are still trying to break even or trying to be more successful. Right. One of the have discovered is that the massive expansion, the quick expansion of different portfolios is one of the reasons the focus is diluted and startups are struggling to get the break even and being successful, right? If you look from a data analytics perspective, it's a very simple question, right? I want to start a new project or a new expand to a new region from a business. Question is it feasible? Can we sustain the expenses? Will this new business or new portfolio bring us money in, let's say, in 1 year, 2 year? Will it be profitable in a near term? These questions usually answered by a bunch of like senior folks. They'll look at the industry data, but it's not all very concrete. Most of the time, it is driven by ambition to grow big. They want to accelerate. They want to get their turnovers into 5x, 10x in a year or two, right? These are really, really aggressive targets they have. So while doing so, they kind of don't really take all of the data relevant points to make this decision proper, because the ambition to grow, or maybe the pressure from the investors to grow 10x, 5x is very high. This is one of the reasons startups struggle. And I am a mentor with the startup NASSCOM for past 3 years. I mentor many startups, and I know from my first-hand experience, many startups struggle because of the aggressive growth targets, and especially they're not fully validating the potentials based on the data. That's that's one sphere. If you look at the established industries, established companies, if you want to launch a new product, okay, there are a lot of data points which you need to analyze from a competitors, from a consumer behavior, potential of the product, also changing market technology. Right? You can see that ChatGPT itself has disrupted many industries. I have taken this example before. One of the leading edtech companies in US, Check. So if you look at the Check market share, I'll just go for 6 months. So you can see there is a dip over here. This is when they announced their results, quarterly results. And from about $18, it actually fall down to $9. It lost 50% of your share value. Okay. And one of the biggest reason they have given it, the key reason is ChatGPT. A lot of things what they're actually teaching can be actually done for free of cost with ChatGPT. The ChatGPT can train you, they can actually teach you in many aspects. So it's directly affecting their business. Okay. And I'm assuming that they're currently working on using ChatGPT to build more products, which can be more cheaper educational products. And then maybe they'll come back to the actual levels, right? So the technology is disrupting business in many directions, in many dimensions, actually, some things which you cannot predict. Data analytics have become really, really important now, because the decisions you need to take You need to take fast, it needs to be correct, and it has to be data-driven. So you really have to get all of your data in place and also analyze it well for the business purposes. So that's the purpose of data analytics. Data analytics is a practice of examining the raw data to uncover meaningful insights and make informed decisions. What we have just discussed right now. It involves the application of statistics, mathematics, in fact, statistics predominantly. It also uses many tools such as BI tools, let's say Tableau, Power BI. It also uses many other programming languages, not really necessary for data analytics, but a bit of programming knowledge is helpful to use certain packages. So data analytics includes descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of this different classification, but just to put you on the very high level, descriptive analytics is the most basic form of analytics, where you look at the data, transform them into reports and visualizations, graphs and trends, and then you basically analyze the data. Anyone has a problem with my voice? I see some comments saying my voice is getting echoed. Am I audible to others? Okay, then it's maybe a problem from the other side. Okay, thank you. Right, so that's what we call the descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics transforms the data into more insightful manner. It basically represents the data in a more readable or meaningful manner. Diagnostic analytics, it actually probing into what is the cause. Let's say sales went down suddenly, all right? We would like to understand what is the phenomena, why the sales is going down, okay? And maybe other things, like recently you see a lot of people, the, what do you call this? Attrition. Especially in the technology field, many employees are leaving the organization or changing to better options, right? Let's say suddenly your attrition rate last year was 6%, it actually become 13% now. That's a big problem because 13% of your employees are leaving the organization. I would like to know why. And those kind of things are actually answered by diagnostic analytics. If you want to know what's the technique, we use many. Hypothesis testing is one of the techniques in statistics, which can actually find out the root cause and justify if that's the root cause to basically find out the root cause. Predictive analytics, you might be knowing it. It's about predicting the future of a certain variable. Prescriptive is actually suggesting what you should do next. It's the highest form of analytics. Okay. This is the process of business analytics. You essentially ask questions. You prepare the data. First, of course, you look for the data, get the data and prepare it. Because data usually in the raw form is not usable directly for analysis. You have to do a lot of data manipulation. So essentially you clean the data, you do the missing value analysis, you delete outliers and stuff like that. So all that comes under the processing of the data. Then you analyze the data. You can create graphs, trends, reports using that. And this is what you're going to finally share to the business shareholders. And these business shareholders essentially will take decisions, essentially acting is taking decisions based on this data. So simply put, this is the process we follow on a very high level for any business analysis. There's often asked, one of the often asked questions is, what's the difference between data analytics and data science? Well, it's a very good question. In fact, data analytics, as I said, it's more than a decade and a half. It's been there with us for a very long time. Of course, the way we are doing it, the tools we are using is different, but as a field as data analytics, it's been there for more than 15 years or even more. Data science is about 8 years, 7 to 8 years. It's relatively new field, all right? And it's getting a lot of traction. And the purpose of both data analytics and data science is more or less same. In fact, the goal of both are essentially getting the insights from the data. So the difference lies in the complexity of it and the kind of data it can handle. There are a few points I can read through it. I'll do. focus on analyzing data, uncover insights, which we have just seen. Focus on extracting insights, making predictions, solving complex problems. But more or less, see, these two are pretty much the same. The high-level goal for data science or data analytics is actually same. There are other points over here, but let me just tell you what's the main difference. Data analytics uses typical or traditional techniques, statistical techniques. Okay. Whereas data science uses very advanced techniques such as AI and ML. In fact, ML is a subset of AI, so I could say simply AI ML, right? And then technology, the programming part. Also, domain knowledge. Data science cut through all the domains, healthcare, retail, in fact, also data analytics, but data science more focused on building predictive models, whereas data analytics focuses on analyzing the data and coming up with the insights which can be used for the decisions. So the major difference is data analytics work with a structured data. When you say structured data, you're talking about data which is essentially rows and columns. And data science can work, of course, with structured data, but also with unstructured data. Unstructured data, essentially anything which is not falling under structure. You can take images, videos, social media information, free text. All of this data is actually becoming more important, more valuable nowadays, right? And this can be analyzed using data science, because data science uses machine learning, which can transform any data into, into a way that it can actually read and come up with the models, which can use for the insights. So that's the difference. So data science is more technical. So you need to really know programming a little more deeper. And also you need to know machine learning. You need to know how to model a machine learning from data and use it for different purposes. Whereas data analytics is more focused on transforming the data, business data, and then essentially presenting them in an insightful manner for decision making. Okay, that's a major difference. So the learning curve for this is relatively less when compared to data science. But apart from that, the goal for both is more or less the same. I must tell one crucial information. 80% of the business data essentially is structured data, even today. So most of your customer information, transactions, everything is captured as a structured data. So data analytics is pretty good for, this is also a booming field, and most of the work can be done using data analytics for most of the purposes. Now, I see some questions about recruitment stuff. Datamites is hosting this webinar. I couldn't focus on the chat. Any questions which is more important, please put it on the Q&A section. I'll pick it from there, okay? Thank you. So, very important question. Why consider a career switch to data analytics? You might be already, working in other segments, other divisions, having different kinds of roles and structures, or maybe you're a beginner. Why should you consider? Well, I explained in the first part of this bootcamp that decision-making through data-driven decision-making process, this one, has become really crucial. There is a significant emphasis across all the companies, across the industries, all the companies, to have a very strong data analytics team or data science team to provide them with the inputs for decision making. Okay, so that actually drives a huge demand. The demand for data analytics is skyrocketing. Year on year, average for next 5 years is predicted to be around 60 to 70% growth. Every year, the number of jobs approximately for next 5 years is going to be increased by about 60 to 70%. And more interesting thing, this is not really impacted by any of the technological changes. Neither the ChatGPT or the generative AI and all such thing is not impacting, it's not going to impact the demand for data analytics. It's a kind of future-proof, I would say, at least for next 10 years. And I don't have to mention, you can find it in a lot of blogs. They have a very lucrative salaries when compared to a similar profile in any other IT or data related domains. Data analytics folks actually have a lot of lucrative values, as well as the data scientists. So data scientists, data analytics are more or less at the same level in terms of salaries. Diverse opportunities. So data science skills is really transferable, which means that you're not stuck with certain industry or a certain organization, or because it's very transferable skills. If you are a very good data analyst, you can analyze the data. You could actually switch to different industries. You could go from finance to health to marketing to technology. Well, if you stay in the same vertical, you will have more domain knowledge, which means you will work better. You have more insights. You're more valuable to the organization. But you don't have to, because these skills are transferable. So you have a diverse opportunities. That's one of the reason, it is kind of future proof, because you're not stuck to any particular industry or a vertical. Okay. And of course, career growth. Data analytics offers an excellent career growth to become next data scientists, data engineers, and the managerial levels. If you want to go vertically, you can become a manager, chief data analyst, and stuff like that. So it's really a very interesting field, given that the skills you need to get into data analytics can be acquired in 6 months, given that you put about 20 hours a week effort. So 20 hours a week for 6 months, you should have market-ready skills to switch to a career, to switch the career to data analytics. If you need further information on this, please approach datamites.com. You can drop a mail to care@datamites.com, and they will provide all the information with you. So why should you consider? Well, there is no reason why you should not consider, because it's one of the best careers in the market. And the reason you are here in this webinar already says that you are interested. Well, coming to skills required for successful transition. Well, there is standard skills. Of course, you need to know the data visualization tool. You need to know the statistics. Programming skills, though it is not mandatory, if you have essential Python, it's really helpful. You can do more analysis. And of course, if you're working in a certain domains like healthcare or finance, a domain expertise is also really important. Of course, communication skills. Apart from all of this, which are anyway benefits. The number one skill, which is more and horizontal, is analytical mindset. Because I can show you maybe that there is a webinar organized by Datamites. I think Datamites. I'm going to take that webinar on Pandas AI. Have you heard about Pandas AI? I think next week or so, 16th of July, I guess. It's in my calendar. I'm taking a very extensive Pandas AI session, about an hour boot camp. Right? You get the information from Datamites for enrolling for that if you're interested. This is an amazing tool where you can literally ask questions about the data, like what is the last month sales or last quarter sales? Can you show me the graph of a particular category sales or profit? Are we doing good? All of these can be literally asked like simply in a natural language, and Pandas AI can actually come up with all the answers. Otherwise, this needs to be really, you have to use Pandas or other packages to write some codes, and then it's really, you need to learn the skill otherwise. But Pandas AI makes it really simple, right? Even for example, Excel, Microsoft Excel, you need to know how to use it. You have a data, you have an Excel sheet, Excel tool, but you can't just, get whatever you want. You need to really know how exactly to extract the data using this tool. Same with Tableau, for example. But this is going away. The future tools, you really don't have to worry about the tool-related skills. But what you really have to know is asking right questions and having a great analytical mindset. Asking a right questions for a certain problem and drawing meaningful conclusion is the most important aspect of being a data analyst. Some people are naturally like that. Right? You would have known, right, from your own friends and families, the way you interact with your colleagues, people around you, the way you look at any issues around you, right? you already know that how capable are you in terms of solving complex problems, right? So if you have a good analytical mindset, you are a good problem solver in whatever dimensions, then you have the most important skill needed for a business analyst, a business analytics professional. Okay. So the reason I talked about Pandas AI is that it's easy to actually get any data or any graph by asking simple questions. But you should know what questions to ask. And that requires a solid understanding of the business and how to draw meaningful conclusions from the data. Okay, so those are the skills required for successful career transition. Well, of course, this is something which I would say needed to really become a great data analytics professional. But even if you are average, you rate yourself, you can still become a data analytics professional, right? And contribute to the organization. I really don't have to talk about the job opportunities and growth. This immense. I already told. There is a. This is projected. It is actually it's projected in 2019. This is an old stat. This is from U.S. labor statistics. Now it's actually above 50. It's around 60% growth from 2023 to 2029. This is again coming from World Economic Forum. You can check that. But there's a high growth of jobs in this field. And there are some other stats talking about 53% companies are adapting big data. That's nearly true. The job openings last year, 2021 itself is 160. In fact, this is about 3.5 million now. Across the world, the number of job openings for data analytics is about 3.5 million. And of course, the salaries are also, this is also slightly higher than what has been shown over. Yeah. But as I said, this is something I rate data analytics above most of the IT and data analytics companies. It's one of the reasons it becomes very interesting to look into switching to it. Analytics jobs in the industry. As I said before, the skills are transferable, and also analytics is used in all the industries almost. These are the top ones. Finance, like banks, insurance companies, investment firms, leverage data to detect fraud, optimize investment, predict market trends. Healthcare uses data analytics for patient care optimization, medical research, predicting disease outcomes. So you might be knowing very well the COVID, you see a lot of statistics available. Everyone knows what's the positivity rate, what is the average, spreading, the outbreak rate, all of this, and of course, with other data about people getting sick and stuff. So all of these are really useful information for your decision making. And many businesses really depend on these COVID stats to decide whether they have to hold the investment, they have to release their employees, reduce expenses, expand. All of these really depend on how is this progressing, the disease progressing, and that's coming from your analytics field. Marketing. Marketeers use data analytics to target audience. We call it as, customer segmentation, so that you can segment the customers clusters and then you target different messages based on the requirement, and measure the campaign effectiveness and personalize customer experience. Like you see this recommended products and stuff, all comes from analytics. Technology. Well, technology is again a horizontal, but tech companies leverage these analytics for consumer behavior, customer insights. Simply put, let's say Facebook or any of the social media companies. They know where exactly you spend time, what to actually improve, which feature to improve, how to ensure that they provide the best experience to you. All comes from this analytics. Retail, for example, Amazon retail, they really help these retailers to optimize the inventory, customer buying pattern, improve the supply chain efficiency, etc. As said, these are only few use cases I put in on the slide. There is a vast application of data analytics in general in various industries. All right, so that's all I have for today's bootcamp. These slides can be shared. I authorize Datamites to do it. If they have the slides, they can share it, make a PDF and share it across. All right, so I'm going to look at the Q&A section. All the participants attending this will also get the webinar. Oh, someone asked me mine. All right, my LinkedIn profile. 1 second. I already sent it once before. Here we go. So we can do that. Sports analytics. In fact, I'm one of my 2009 startup. My first startup, I would say, is into sports analytics back in Netherlands. If you have any questions in that, Arpan, you can directly reach me out. All right. First question coming from anonymous attendee. To be a data analytics, we need to know any programming language. Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, it is not mandatory to learn a programming language. In fact, the necessary for learning programming language is going off because, as I said, the AI generative packages does not need any programming language. You can literally ask questions in a natural way. Having said that, a bit of Python actually helps because you can use all kinds, it's more flexible. You can use all kinds of packages to analyze the data. To answer your question, it's not mandatory to know the programming language. Soumya has a question. I really want to host another session on startups, especially. I'm working on my own. Okay, so you could submit the request to Datamites. You can also send it to me, to my email ID, Soumya. I'll keep a note of it. What about data engineering? That's another question. All right, so data engineering is another role whose primary role is to focus on organizing data, right? Getting the right data for your purpose, creating data pipelines, maintaining the data pipelines, right? And also cleaning the data. All of this is done by data engineers. Data engineers should be very good in database management system, both SQL and NoSQL databases. Also, they should be good with all kinds of ETL technology, extract, transform, and load, and also other tools like Apache Airflow for data pipeline orchestration, and Docker and Kubernetes for maintaining these portable pipelines and stuff like that. So data engineering is more technical, actually much more technical than data science itself, right? And it is purely to deal with data, okay? And these guys provide data to data analysts and data scientists and other stakeholders also, okay? How long it will take to better at it, counseling, considering I devote about 6 months, Soumya. So 6 months is the standard time as an average time. If you're smart, you might do it early. If you're average, you touch 6 months. So that's the kind of time you're looking at to get the market ready skills in data analytics or analytics. Joseph has a question. I'm a student doing a bachelor for ICT in systems and engineering. Will this still work? Yes, absolutely yes. How to make my LinkedIn profile better? Okay, you can reach me out on it, and whatever I can do, I can definitely help. If a career will be changed, is it possible to get a job opportunities over 40? Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Of course, it depends on your expectation. If your expectation is too high, much above the market rates, then you have a problem. But age itself shouldn't be that problem, at least not in last 5-6 years. Things have changed. Companies are more tolerant. They're not really worried too much about your previous academics or experience or even age. What is really important nowadays is your skills requirements matching with the requirements of the job role you're applying for. And of course, your attitude, team spirit, and learning capacity. A question from Ruhani. Is it possible for non-mechanical background, mechanical background student? Yes, of course. So a lot of people coming are actually from mechanical background, are successfully getting transition. What's the relationship between skill future and data mint? Not sure what you meant. Do you mean skill flow and Datamites? Datamites is a skill flow acquired Datamites in 2017. So Datamites is a skill flow company. So now they're saying programming language is mandated to become data analytics. No, not necessarily. That's a question from an anonymous attendee. I have a question from Aga. Can an individual from very non-technical background, what do you mean by very non-technical background? Probably have no exposure to any of this. Yeah, you should. I mean, when I said a 6 months number, I assume that you have absolutely no basics or anything in it. You might spend a month more if you really don't know what is data, but that's it. So it is very applied field, and you should not be worried. You should be able to do it. AI is not required if you want to transition. Oh, okay, it's a different question. Must I take an AI course before I transition from data? Yeah, probably yes, because AI is slightly different because data science requires typical machine learning models, right? Random forest, texture boost, etc. But AI is a different ball game. So you need to work with computer vision, natural language processing, regenerative. So you need more skills to become an AI professional. If you're a data scientist, you might actually have to acquire new skills for you. Joseph has a question. I think I already answered it. I'm working as a front-end developer for 3 years with good package. Depends. So if you really front-end development is also a very nice area. But if you're bored or if you're more interested in data science, you can switch. Salary shouldn't be a problem. You might actually earn more as a data scientist than a front-end. Do we get 60% off on admission? Yeah. Check with Datamites, but typically, yes. They have weekly discounts, and I don't know about it. Or so you can check with them. I have a question from Bilal. Sir, I completed my CDA course. My time is mock interview. Please give me interview clearing tips. Sure, Bilal. I mean, there is a separate session on. I think this Friday we have a session. Please come and ask in that session. I'll be more than happy to help you with some tips for interviews for data analysts. Slides will be shared to your email. Question again, I want to pursue my profession as a data analyst. What aspects, tools, knowledge I need to focus more? I already did mention few of it. Statistics and BI tools are important, but just you can check more information. There is a brochure which talks about the skills needed. They can share it to you. Nagaveni has a question. Someone without much knowledge into programming. Yeah. So I told this already, 6 months, and the programming is not really necessary. It's not required. In fact, for CDA, Certified Data Analyst course in Datamites, programming is an optional thing. If you want to take it, you can take it. Otherwise, you can skip it because data analyst, it's not required to be a programmer. Would you advise one to go for a degree in data science or learn? Degree in data science takes 2 years. That's a lot of time. You would have the great opportunities you have in the market would have passed. I would say take courses like what Datamites provides. And of course, I'm not saying degrees are bad, but if you can afford it, you can. But it's all about getting to the market quick. If you could get into the market within 1 year, it will be amazing. It will be less, it will not be difficult. But after 2 years, things might become more saturated. But degree itself is actually valuable, I would say. I'm a mathematics teacher. I want to switch to my career. Yeah, if you're a mathematics teacher, you should be able to switch and try to get a structured learning course. So, of course, you can contact Datamites. All right. So, how do I go about knowing how to use MySQL and Tableau in data analysis? It's you have courses for MySQL, you have courses for Tableau. I would say please enroll for that. There are also a lot of free tutorials available. You should be able to do. All right. So I have taken most of the questions. I'm looking at, there are 25 questions. I'm just going to see which question I could answer. Me and my partner are going through a different phase and may need some advice. Okay, please contact me or Datamites based on convenience. Arpan, is a career breaks might be a problem? Not really. Career breaks are not a problem nowadays. Yeah, it does matter what you are doing last few months, because if you start an internship or something like that, it should be a problem. So I can prepare data science to data. Compare. Data science or data engineering is been there for quite some time. I'm talking about data science. And when it comes to salaries and career opportunities, data science is way better, including data analytics are way better compared to typical software engineering. Is data analyst used often more on MS Excel? Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say. But it's going more towards advanced tools. Yes, 80% of the courses by Datamites are online across the world. People can attend. They do have flexible time zones and stuff. You can. I don't know about the cost. It might be $500 to $600. Check with Datamites. Q&A is not working for me. I have asked questions, no response. Coffee. I have answered all the questions. Coffee. Okay. As a data analyst, oh, I did answer this. We've been asking this question 3 or 4 times. Okay, the last question is yours. We'll accept 4th. Yeah, there are a lot of 4th year students as an interns. How can you convert raw data to example of one portfolio? This is a very big question. I would answer offline. Please send it across. Scholarship financially wants to. Okay, contact Datamites. They have scholarship for people like you. PowerPoint slides will be shared by EOD. They have to send it across to email. All right, guys. If there's any question I missed, please try to contact me through my LinkedIn or through my email. I will answer your question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for such interactive questions and also participating in all the discussions. I wish you all the best. And if you have any further clarification and questions, please do reach me or Datamites. Have a good day. Bye-bye.